What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Church Boy V back with another BTO. Today we're gonna look at some 90s tech products. I think it's 10, but I can't remember. But it's gonna be interesting. I was born in '97, so I did not I did not grow up with all this stuff with the tech in the 90s. I mean, I used it as I got older. I used it because, family members and, the older generation used it, But besides that, I really don't know what's on this list. I think I seen Walkman on here, but I could be wrong. But let's see. Hope you're having a blessed day. And let's see what nostalgia they're going to show us today from the 90s tech products.
CD case.
A floppy disk.
Oh, floppy
Floppy disk. I seen that.
Number 10. Portable audio players. Walkman and Discman.
Sony introduces the only cassette player as small as a cassette case. The incredible sounding Super Walkman.
Walking down the street with one of these bad boys brought an instant feeling of cool. Looking back, well, hindsight is 2020. A Walkman or Discman is a portable audio player, with the former for cassettes and the latter for CDs, that would sometimes fit in your pocket.
I can just imagine you guys, 13-year-olds, just thug life represent.
If we're talking a Walkman, then we'd have to deal with turning over the cassette tapes once you'd reach the end of one side.
So today you can fit thousands of songs on a phone, but on a cassette you can only fit up to about 30 songs.
I feel bad for people who lived in the 90s. I really do.
When it comes to a Discman, it would seem that it always started skipping at the most inopportune times because, well, they sucked. In reality, these portable music players were usually bulky and inconvenient, and there was no shuffle on a cassette, so you better have made a really good mixtape.
Makes sense.
Number 9. Record adapter. While the hipster revolution brought records and record players back into the pop culture scene, both those items are probably still somewhat unknown commodities to young kids these days. But even if records are popular again, record adapters are certainly odd-looking.
Vinyls and stuff like that are coming back, are becoming popular, so I wouldn't say ain't popular, because a lot of old stuff is becoming popular, so I don't know.
Thanks to most folks under a certain age. Throughout the history of the record, there have been 78 RPM, 45 RPM, and 33 RPM records available. But the holes in records made to be played at 45 RPM were larger than those of 78 or 33 RPM records. These adapters were necessary to play them on your standard record player. Now, why the holes were different sizes in the first place is a whole other question. Number 8. Wired video game controllers. We're fairly sure that most kids can figure out what a video game controller is, even with a wire sticking out of it. But they definitely won't know the pain of perpetually tangled wires. Modern video game controllers are gearing increasingly towards being wireless, in favor of relying on battery power and infrared or Bluetooth, as opposed to plugging directly into the game console. It honestly wouldn't surprise us if game companies stopped making wired controllers altogether at some point. While retro consoles would likely still require them, there probably won't be a lot of demand for them from kids growing up on modern gaming alone. Nostalgia is nice, but not having to untangle wires is nicer. Number 7. Transistor radio. These days, the only connection most of us have with even the term transistor radio comes from listening to Brown Eyed Girl on the Sirius XM oldie station. Invented in the 1950s, transistor radios were revolutionary because they switched from the old vacuum tube technology. This allowed them to be made smaller, more portable, more durable, and mass marketable. The truth is that if you see a radio these days, it's probably a transistor radio. Although a non-digital standalone radio in the wild would probably feel like a museum piece to the younger generation.
Heck yeah.
Number 6. Palm Pilots, PDAs. Personal Digital Assistants, or PDAs, were essentially the first smartphones, only you couldn't call or text or surf the internet. Okay, let us explain.
Get some work done.
a planner.
If you wanted to do complex computing on the go, Palm Pilots were where it was at. They allowed you to store contact info, plan calendars, send and receive emails, write up documents, computer stuff.
We just having a little Christmas party tonight.
Like a email.
Come on through, man. Hang out with us and our folks.
Let me check my Palm Pilot.
There's just something special about Texas.
That was exactly what I was thinking of. That scene on that movie, Friday After Next. That's exactly what I was thinking of. That scene.
Weekends. With Jexa Energy, every weekend is a 3-day weekend. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, free. Call 855-GOT-JEXA or visit JEXAenergy.com to switch to the free 3-day weekends plan.
The most popular of these devices were Palm Pilots, which pretty much dominated the market. They were absolutely everywhere in the late 90s.
For phone numbers, addresses, keep appointments, everything.
Wow.
It's got an alarm that beeps.
But with the advent of smartphones, PDAs generally fell by the wayside. And even their attempts at smartphone versions couldn't compete with the likes of iPhones or Androids. Unless their parents are tech buffs, we doubt today's kids have even heard of them.
Right, I think it's this.
No, it's the button. It's the button at the top.
Okay.
Number 5. Cassette tapes.
Hey, I had the show of my life last night. I had lived like 10 new minutes. Did you tape it?
While nostalgia and some help from Guardians of the Galaxy has promoted the recent revival of cassette tapes, there are many in the newer generation who didn't get to experience them the first time around.
What's that?
Walkman. Looks like a stereo. Play on cassette tapes. You want to try?
Before CDs, cassette tapes were the go-to medium for playing audio. They work a lot like VHS tapes, which kids actually do know about. At least that's what they told us on our last list like this. Cassette tapes play music and other recordings in a cassette player, and then need to be rewound, physically, to be played again.
$3.49 says $1.49.
Well, you didn't rewind it. There's a $2 charge for not rewinding.
No signs here. This is an outrage.
While they've largely been replaced by the modern smartphone, there's still something special about a classic mixtape. Number 4. Floppy disks. Today, the floppy disk lives on as the icon you click on when you want to save your file.
Click the Save button. You'll find it on the Quick Access toolbar.
But few kids would actually be familiar with the object itself.
Why panic when you can rely on Maxell Super RD2 floppy disks?
In fact, one viral tweet even wondered why the save icon is a beverage dispenser. Prevalent in the 80s, the floppy disk was the precursor to CDs, memory cards, and flash drives.
They actually call that a floppy disk.
There was the 8-inch, the 5 1/4 inch, and then the 3.5-inch disc, which could hold an astounding 1.44 megabytes of data. That's pretty crazy considering there are thumb drives today that can hold terabytes of information. Maybe in a few years we'll be laughing at our measly terabyte flash drives. Who knows?
You're from another planet, but you're stuck here till you find this magic sword. I probably should have left that part out. It just makes you sound a little very crazy. Skeletor destroyed our world. This is our home.
Number 3. Dial-up internet access.
Now that I've gotten on the internet, I'd rather be on my computer than doing just about anything. It's really cool.
Isn't it amazing that you can watch this video in HD without having to suffer through buffering or having to make a sandwich while it loaded? Yep, this was absolutely not possible in the 1990s. Thanks, broadband.
Now, let's look up dinosaurs. What do you think? Contest Encyclopedia or National Geographic?
Back in the day, though, we once had dial-up internet access, which would make an awful mechanical noise when it connected to an internet service provider, and would be painfully slow when you actually got online.
No, I wanted to pay for dial-up modem impression classes. See?
And God forbid your mom needed the phone, because if she did, it was back to TV for you. As of 2013, only 3% of internet users still use dial-up.
Once selected, close your eyes and relax to the soothing, familiar sounds of a 56K modem.
We feel for you. Number 2. Pagers, aka beeper.
I seen them in the store. What store that was? I think it was a pawn shop. I seen a pager and a beeper. Or they the same thing. I don't know.
You got it? Hey, yo, find the phone real quick. Feel like my man D got himself an emergency.
Until the early 90s, there were tons of different pagers on the market. But once cheap and reliable cell phones came along, these wireless telecommunication devices all went the way of the dinosaurs.
You can switch off, Alicia.
I wish I could. I've been waiting for a phone call for 7 years.
Which, funnily enough, is what you'll be called if you still use one. Alphanumeric pagers simply displayed a phone number that you had to call back, while more advanced ones like the two-way QWERTY pagers could send and receive early forms of...
What's the next one? I think that's it. Yeah. Well, y'all let me know if y'all ever used any of them 90s tech products. I seen some of them, but some of them I hadn't seen. But it'd be interesting to check one of them to see if they still work or not. But more like a experiment type of thing. But y'all let me know. Y'all have a blessed one. God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, love you. I love you. And it was interesting because I heard of most of that stuff. I never used most of them. I used maybe one or two of them products, but I heard of them. Being born in late 90s, growing up in the early 2000s, that stuff was still like, I guess it's at its peak or going down, what's it called? Going down from being popular. So I was able to see and hear family members talk about these different products and items and stuff. So it was interesting. So y'all let me know. Y'all have a blessed one. Have a great weekend. Stay prayed up. Let's stay in the Word. We out.